This is my 1 week follow-up video after my last post-intervention assessment video. Pick 2 papers from the bowl and choose one. Put the one that was not chosen back in the bowl. Discard the one you chose after the session is over. Using the notebook and pen, write an outline for your speech. Before you start writing the outline, set the timer for 10 minutes. Once the timer rings, press stop and you can use the outline you created for your speech. Set a second timer for 4 minutes. Show to the camera. And begin your speech. Do not stop talking until you hear the timer ring. My question is, what is your family like? How many people are in your family? Do you think this affects who you are now? My family consists of my dad, my mom, and my brother, who is 3.5 years older than me. To begin, we all have very big personalities, but my brother tends to be more like my mom, and I tend to be more like my dad. And I believe this has 100% affected who I am now, in the best of ways and also in ways that I can grow on and learn from. I am learning as a newlywed that a family dynamic and the way I was raised and the environment I was around plays a tremendous role in all things. So much so that communication is different, traditions are different, even the little things are affected. The way that the house is held, the way that we cook, the way that our habits are, it all goes back to how we were raised. I was raised in a Hispanic family household, which I know means there is a whole lot more aspects that are continuously affecting me today, such as culture and how things are done in a Hispanic household, as opposed to my husband being an only child, living with just his mom, and she worked all day while he was at home and while he was at school. And all of this leads to both of us doing things so differently, but knowing that that does not mean that either of us is wrong, it's just how we were raised. We now have to learn that of each other and blend what we know and come together as our own new family unit. Before we got married, we went to premarital counseling, and that opened our eyes to how important it is to know how your family dynamic and upbringing will play a role in your adult life as well as in your marriage. This will also help you understand your partner in ways like communication and habits. For example, I am aware that I am a lot like my father in all of the good ways, but in also ways that I can grow and maximize my strengths on. My family growing up spent a lot of time together. We were together on every weekend, all evenings. We would not eat together at a table, but we were all home once my dad got home and we were back from extracurriculars. We wouldn't leave the house. And we lived further away from my grandparents and aunts and uncles, so for the longest times it was just the four of us. And we had many pets, but we would travel to go see our family often. Our house was always filled with one or two extra people, as my brother or I would have friends over and my parents would just take them in as their own. So I was definitely raised around a lot of people, and we also made a lot of friends that became like family where we lived, so we were always surrounded by people. My family can be very loud. We like to have fun. My family enjoys sports. We enjoy rodeo. We enjoy spending time together. And I think this made me be a family-centered person, which also affects me now. And I think that I want a medium-sized family or a small family like I was raised in, because I know how I was raised also affect that decision, but that is how my family is.